Some of you will know this is my 2013 Sylva J15, designed by Jeremy Phillips. It is a proper racing car. This is the road-going version of it, but performs just as well on the track. I've tracked it for about 4 times a year for the last 11 years. It's put together in 2013, and you see that it's stood up very well with that amount of time. It's got a nice little cockpit. It's got 5 racing seats, racing steering wheel, the usual sort of instruments and things. Uniquely to kit cars, this has side impact protection, which gives you about 10 inches of before the actual car comes to meet you. There's extra protection on this car. On the roll bar there's very bright lights, and on the bottom of the car there are some extra lights as well, because people don't see you coming on something so low. Here's the engine bay. Again, it's held up very well. It's always kept very clean, tidy, serviced regularly, MOT'd every year. This is a catch tank for the oil vapours. If you put anything on a track, you've got to take care of such things. It's got a catalytic converter exhaust from a Westfield, so it passes all the emissions reasonably well. As you can see, it's got a space frame chassis, and it's got proper wishbones. This is the front of the car. Obviously the engine's at the rear. It's got a thing for battery access here. It's got a custom designed fuel tank so that you've got extra leg room on the passenger side. Not that there's too many passengers willing to go in it, but if they do, they've got to comply with these rules. The radiator is a Volkswagen Polo, but it's shrouded in aluminium structure. Dual circuit braking, inboard suspension, Spax shock absorbers. It's a proper wishbone design. The roll bar has been modified to give this extra protection for track days. There's also a stay that goes through the bonnet, through the rear bonnet and onto the chassis, give you extra protection. This is a mounting for camera or whatever. In terms of defects, these mirrors are past their best. They've got a habit of rusting at this joint here, and when I last cleaned them up, I didn't mask off the mirror that well, and it needs some new ones. They're not expensive. Normally this car starts on the button. Make sure it's in neutral. Turn the ignition, which is underneath the dashboard. Normally it starts on the first turn. However, there's a cut-off switch which has started to become unreliable, so it needs replaced. This car is fitted with a racing Puma engine. This is, what do I mean by that? Well, the engine is originally out of a 1.7 litre Ford Puma, and it has been taken to racing Puma spec by Cytec Racing, and here is the racing Puma Plenum, which is extremely rare and was obtained at great expense and gives it the performance that you're looking for. It's also had race cam, it's completely refreshed, light and flywheel, stiffer valve springs, all that sort of thing. You'd have to speak to Simon at Cytec Racing to find out exactly what he's done to it, but I've got the bill to prove it. Just one walk around the car. with the bonnet catches lowered this time. She's a rather beautiful car to look at. It's a shame that I have to get rid of it, but I'm losing this lock-up here in an indeterminate fashion. The council's put the whole site up for sale, and one of these days they're going to give me a month's notice, and I have nowhere to put this lovely car. It comes with a complete tonneau cover for keeping out the rain while it's parked. Just one further note, for those that are interested in driving this car, you do need racing shoes.